about Brady Cook?
I would say just like his experience level. You can definitely tell he's smart. Been around the game, and he can throw it and run it as well. So.
Obviously, no Luther burden, but kind of what other challenges does this Mizzou receiving corps present?
Just a lot of talent, I think, and speed. On the outside. They've got a good group of guys out there, and I think they'll be ready to go, especially with their quarterback.
What's this whole prep been like? This should be your last one.
As an older guy, it's been a little bit more toned back. Kind of watching young guys develop a little bit, but also still trying to get your work in as well. And so, past couple weeks, we've ramped it up definitely as the older guys and gotten a lot of reps. So it's been good.
Any young guys jumping out at you? In terms of development?
I mean, same old development that you guys have seen, on the field. Same old, young safeties and corners are developing. So I can't tell you a specific name, I guess.
Has it set in that kind of the end is here for you as a Hawkeye?
Not quite yet. Maybe after the game. But it's definitely been a long ride and journey, and I'm very grateful for all of it. So, yeah.
It does feel a little different. Like last year, you had the option coming back, and you hadn't decided yet. This time, it's done.
Yeah. I think last year, too, in the back of my mind, I thought about it a little bit. I wasn't sure. But this year, with it being done, just grateful for one last opportunity with my teammates and coaches and to wear the Tiger Hawk. So.
I know you're kind of thinking about dental school at some point, right? Right? Okay. Are you going to try for the NFL, or do you know what you're going to do?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll be training for the NFL the next couple months. Go through pro day, see how that goes, and just really go after it.
How do you
Do you
feel
know
like
where you're going to be training?
I'll be in Denver.
Okay.
How do you feel like the year has gone for you? I know the defense has had some ups and downs, but how do you feel like you've played?
Pretty well. I feel like my production has been pretty good. Gotten a lot better as well, and so I think as the year went on too, I got better, and so yeah.
What have you seen kind of from Castro this year? Kind of the other guy who's been around for a while.
Yeah, the other old man. He's been doing a good job. Same old Castro. Comes in the building every day, does his work, gets out, and so he's just been a good teammate for me, and grateful to have him out there.
Quinn, I'm curious about what your thoughts are on this new change with the limited rosters, 105, you're a former walk-on. I mean, who's to say that you would have stuck around given this happening, had that happened however many years ago?
Yeah.
I guess, what are your thoughts on this change?
I mean, me personally, I'm kind of a little disappointed, mainly because, like you said, for the walk-ons, I mean, I feel like less opportunities, and it'll be harder for guys to get recruited out of high school. And, I think a lot of guys, might be under-recruited out of high school, and you might not know, and then another kid might not get the opportunity or take a chance, at the big school and could develop and become a good player. And so I think it's just, it's a change in college football, I guess, and it is what it is, but I just think it's a tough situation.
What's it been like for you to watch some of your teammates? I don't want to say they got cut, but just told to their places, and I'm sure you're friends with a lot of these guys that have had to make tough decisions.
Yeah, it's been sad to see them, have to kind of go through the recruiting process again, but I'm also very excited to see, them go to new opportunities and hopefully get the chance to play and, kind of make a name for themselves and have a good opportunity.
Yeah. Do you think you would have made the 105, way back when as a true freshman?
As a true freshman, it would have been hard.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what was going on as a true freshman, but I'm confident, the next couple of years I think I would have.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. We don't know. I'm grateful that, it didn't happen, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
Part of the tradition of Iowa football, though, is the walk-ons. Guys like yourself and James Voss, guys that do you feel like maybe the program's losing something?
I mean, maybe a little bit. I think it's been the identity of, the Hawkeye program to just develop, kids, walk-ons or scholarship guys as well. And so, I don't know where the program goes from here. I think we'll still be great. As long as we got Coach Ferentz as coach and Coach Parker, we'll still be fine. So.
I think, who do you think should be free safety next year? Xavier?
Could be Xavier, yeah. A lot of guys. I also like, Xavier, Cohen, Lutmer, and then we call him 2-6, Kale Caleri.
Did you see that decision that was the Vandy quarterback with JUCO guys that can get that? Is that part of your thought here too?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't looked into it that much, but I was kind of hoping it applied to me. Well, then I would have 2 years left, but I'm getting a little too old. I don't want to be 35 years old playing college football, but I think it applies for us. So.
Yeah. How much has this year helped? I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, getting another year of film, but how much has this year helped push you forward and maybe confidence that you can go on to that next level? Because obviously you've been super impactful, especially in punt return and kick return.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after getting the All-American honors, I was pretty honored to get that, and I mean, it just kind of gave me even more of a push to be like, yeah, I can really do this with these guys, and whatever I can do to help the team out, that's what I'll do. So.
What do you think about that, being an All-American as a walk-on?
It's awesome, man. I don't know how many other guys have done that, but I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to do. So.
What would you? I mean, do you want to be a bigger part of the passing game? I suppose coming back to next year.
Yeah,
Is that kind
for
of
sure,
your thought
for sure.
process?
And we've been talking. Obviously, this was kind of the first year of the offense, and we're still kind of wanting to expand on it. So hopefully, that'll be a big part of next year.
You said you guys have been talking. I guess what does that look like? Is that just getting the ball in your hands?
Yeah.
However,
obviously, I mean, the spring was kind of installing the offense, and I mean, the fall was still sort of that as well. But I mean, it's all timing and stuff with the quarterback. So it's just reps, and I know having the reps in this next coming spring ball, it'll help us for next year. So.
Seems like you've really embraced the return game.
Oh,
Is this
for sure.
something that you've always?
Yeah. Even coming out of junior college, I was always the main return guy. So, I mean, whatever I can do, like I said, whatever I can do to help the team out, I know I can help in the return game. So,
Who do you sit down with to talk about, like, coming back and everything? Was that Kirk? Was that?
I talked with a couple of coaches. I talked to Bud Meyer and Woods, and they were kind of just asking me what my thoughts were. And I was like, yeah, the plan's to come back, but we'll see. Yeah, I still have a couple other people to talk to, but we'll see.
You mean what? What do you mean we'll see?
The plan is to come back right
Okay,
now,
you
but
don't know for sure?
But I'll say I'm 98% sure coming back. So yeah.
Are you going to do, like, an announcement or anything?
Yeah,
Or?
I don't know. I kind of want to keep people on their toes, so that's fine. Because a lot of guys are like, you announcing you're coming back yet? I was like, I'll just be the quiet guy on that.
what would that 2% look like? Could that just be something like conversations of you possibly being drafted? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the main thing. But I mean, from what I've heard from the coaches, they think it'd be best off that I come back this year. So, next year, sorry.
So have you been getting feedback then on kind of what kind of next level would look like?
Yeah,
or,
yeah. They were talking. I want to play gunner personally, and I want to play a little bit more on special teams here. So, I mean, that's the main goal. But like I said, we'll see what happens next year. So.
Have you been practicing playing gunner at all, or is that?
I've had a couple reps in this bowl prep, so I mean it's been fun. But he still wants me to return it right now. That's the main focus. But next year we'll see. Hopefully, get a little bit more.
So you're just kind of in LeVar's ear about all this stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Is he getting tired of you?
Yeah, he's been tired of me since I got here. So.
On special teams against Missouri, I mean, how can that be a factor in this game? It looks like you guys have a major edge in punt return yardage this season, for example.
Yeah, for sure. But their kickers actually make it difficult to have returns. They've had limited returns this year, so I mean, we've said that multiple games. Like Michigan State, they're one of the top return yardage against them, and that was one of our best games. So I mean, it all comes down to when the ball is kicked and what happens. So we'll see.
At what point do you want to be 100% sure on? Do you have like a deadline for yourself?
I don't know. I don't even know when the deadlines are. My main focus is just finishing this year, and then a week left, and take some time after that to think about it. But yeah, I'll most likely be back. So.
All right, thanks, Cade. We got Coach Woods next.
Thanks, dude.
I know everyone's going to ask me about other stuff, but I want to ask about Luke Elkins. I think he became an All-American at long snapper this year. Like, how would you describe how good he is at this job and to get that award?
I think it's awesome he's been being recognized. This is not the first year he's had an All-American performance. This is also, though, the first year that they've recognized long snappers, and I think it's a really cool deal. Luke's been really good for us for a long time. I think you can ask Torrey, ask the guys he's worked, ask Caleb Schudak, the guys, and Drew Stevens, the guys he's worked with, and I think they'll all tell you that.
I mean, it's just the consistency seems to be there. I mean, and thinking back to even the Iowa State game in 2021, what did you see in him to put him in that game, and just to think about how he's done it now for 4 straight years?
Yeah, I think you go back to that game 2021 for a kid to be thrown into that situation in a hostile environment, in a rivalry game. I think it speaks volumes about him. But what we saw in him is that he's very calm, very relaxed, didn't get rattled by very much, and his product was very good. He was very accurate with his snaps, and just a good player.
Regent says he's 98% sure he's coming back. Thoughts?
Is there a question in that?
Thoughts?
I'm excited for Weegan. I think there's more for him to prove. I think there's more for him to improve upon as well, and I'm excited to have him back.
Are
Are you 100% sure he's coming back? Or 98?
You could ask him. That's not. He tells me yes. You know, sometimes he asks me, "Is he coming back?" I'm like, "Hey man, this is your decision, not mine. I'd love to have him back."
How have you seen him kind of embrace the returning opportunities that he's gotten?
Yeah, I think he's really improved a bunch. You go back to a year ago, and he probably told you a couple stories where I ripped him pretty good his first year here, and then again his second year, and then finally he's starting to come around and has really proven to be a really good player, a really good asset for our team, and it's just fun to watch.
Who's your backup place kicker in this game?
Backup place kicker. Were you at practice?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't know
know.
if that was real.
I mean, you saw practice. So that's
Does
the
it
backup
trouble
kicker.
you? Does it worry you?
No, neither guy worries me. I think they both. You saw him make kicks, correct?
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
How do you approach kind of kicking recruiting in terms of high school versus portal, and just in general? I know you can't get into specifics.
Yeah, I think in general terms, this program is built on high school players, and I think that's what that's Coach Ferentz's preference. I think that's why we all come here. It's why we all stay here and coach. It's what we love, that process, developing young men into good football players. Sometimes you got to look in the portal. Sometimes if the guy in high school is better. I mean, I think we're all just trying to find the best player for this football team. So whatever that ends up being, that's the route we'll go.
With the 105, like, is it going to be harder to get a long snapper in here, a second kicker, second punter? Does that make it harder, do you feel like?
I think any of that could be hard if you make it that way. I think we've done a pretty good job of understanding who our guys are, what their strengths are, and keep going that way. So I don't know if I see it necessarily as a challenge. It may be an equalizer across all of college football.
Yeah.
Does it trouble you though? You've had some guys just on regular special teams who are, walk-ons that developed in the program, and now they might not be able to be in the program.
Yeah, that's a hard part, especially in the state that we're in Iowa, where a lot of guys grow up wanting to be Hawkeyes and wanting opportunities. They get those opportunities, they take it and run with it and prove themselves on special teams and work on offense, defense. So some of those stories, you may not see quite as much, but I still think the program is going to be the program. It's going to be run the way it's run, the way Coach Ferentz wants it. And I think we'll keep just battling and keep trying to find the best guys to do the job.
Within the special teams units, kind of any younger guys who've really stood out to you during this bowl?
I think Brevin Dahl's one, I think, and Rashad Godfrey. Those are two guys that are freshmen that I think have taken a step forward here.
What have they done that have really impressed you?
Just, when you give them an opportunity that you can tell they've been paying attention throughout the whole year. They all get taught everything in training camp and spring football. They weren't here for spring, but for training camp, they all get taught. And then you see them some figure it out, some figure it out a little bit slower, some figure it out, and then keep building on it. I think we've seen that in both guys.
Or Cohen on the sideline today for practice. I know he's been a big part of special teams. Are you expecting him to be good to go?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know who's practicing. I just coach the guys that are out there right now.
All right, thanks, LeVar.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, LaVar. Appreciate it.
You feel me? He gone, so we passing the torch basically. Like anybody could eat, and anybody could be that guy. So I think the whole running back room, we've been working, to fill that spot and also do what we came to do, be ourselves.
What's the biggest thing you've taken away from Caleb this year?
Really just. Well, Caleb didn't miss any practices, or he didn't fumble all year this year. So that was really teaching us what to do and what we can do to become great and go on to the next level.
What have you seen from this Missouri defense in film?
They're fast. Of course, they're an SEC team. They're fast, physical. You feel me? And they play tough, And like I said, they fast, physical, play tough. So it's gonna be a game. So we just gotta be there, ready to compete.
How big of an opportunity is this for you?
I feel like it's just another game for me. Truthfully, I don't really see it as a big opportunity or anything, because this is what I do and this is what I've been playing all year. So I just see it as another game where I get to compete for the game I love.
What was Caleb like this year as maybe a leader of the backfield, the guy who could impart some wisdom on some of the younger guys who weren't seeing as many snaps?
He was just a leader. He just showed us what to do. Basically, anything what we need to do, he'll be there for us, and then he'll also talk to us if we need help here and there.
Anywhere kind of in your game that you feel like you've really grown, either this last month in bowl prep or these last kind of 3 months throughout the season?
I just feel like being an all-around player, knowing the ins and outs of everything, blocking, catching, and even running the ball, just looking at the defense and knowing the scheme better, and just starting out pre-snap, learning pre-snap. I feel like I got better at it.
Kirk mentioned Brevin Dahl and Xavier Williams, these guys that we really haven't seen, at least at this level. But I guess what have you seen from them as potential parts of the running back rotation?
No, I definitely seen them coming along like through the years. You could tell they're learning and getting more comfortable, and they're getting their feet underneath them. And I feel like that's very good. And they each bring something different to the team. And yeah, love them.
Last year in the bowl game, I think like 5 of you guys touched the ball in that first quarter. Does Liddell have that in the plans?
Well, yeah, it's really like everybody can eat. You feel me? Like we believe in everybody in the running back room. So whoever you call on, we expect them to make plays.
Playing alongside a guy like Jazz, does it kind of make things easier for you to go from you to a battering ram that's kind of punching dudes in the face?
Yeah, like Jazz, I love Jazz. I knew Jazz like before I came here. So just playing him, be able to get the experience out, it just felt like a little brotherhood that we brought from South Florida. So yeah, for sure.
Kind of maybe you've been asked this, but this came from Sean, but